Ever thought about publishing your own book, but got scared off thinking it's way too complicated or expensive? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to break down the entire process and show you exactly how to publish on Amazon's Kindle Direct publishing platform. And here's the best part. You can do it all for free. All right, let's just jump right into the big question. Can you actually make money doing this? You might think that traditional publishing is where the real money is, but check this out. The game has totally changed. The median income for self-published authors is now more than double what traditionally published authors make. The opportunity is absolutely real, and it is huge. But let's get real for a second. For all that amazing potential, the competition is, well, it's intense. A whopping 90% of self-published books don't even sell 100 copies. So what's the deal? What separates the authors who succeed from the ones who don't? That's exactly what we're going to unpack right now. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with getting your account set up. Then we'll look at all the free tools you need to get started. We're going to cover the key differences between ebooks and paperbacks, dive deep into pricing and royalties, pinpoint the major mistakes you need to avoid, and wrap up with what success really looks like in this world. Okay, first things first. Before you can publish anything, you need a KDP account. This is step one, the foundation of everything. And the great news is, it's super simple and totally free. Seriously, this whole thing takes maybe 15 minutes. You just give them your basic info, set up the two-step verification, which is a must for security, fill out a quick digital text form, and then link your bank account. A little pro tip here, definitely set up direct deposit. There's no minimum amount you have to earn to get paid, so your money comes in faster, usually about 60 days after the end of the month you made the sale. All right, let's talk about tools. And I want to be really clear about this. You do not have to spend a ton of money on fancy software to make your book look professional. There are some incredible free options out there that do the job perfectly. So let's break down your best bets. For formatting the inside of your book, Amazon's own Kindle Create is pretty good for straightforward text-heavy books. But honestly, Readsy Studio is a game changer. It gives you pro-level ebook and print files all from your web browser. For your cover, Canva is amazing for beginners. And if you want the power of Photoshop without the price tag, there's GIMP. Just, be ready for a pretty steep learning curve with that one. Okay, your masterpiece is written and formatted. Now you gotta decide. Are you going ebook, paperback, or, hey, why not both? The process is really similar for each, but the technical details are super important and very different. And these differences really matter. For an ebook, you just need a front cover. That's it. For a paperback, you need a full wraparound cover that includes the spine and the back. An ebook file can be as simple as a Word document, but for print, you need a perfectly formatted, print-ready PDF with very specific margins that actually change depending on how many pages your book has. The good news is, Amazon helps you out by giving you a free ISBN number for your paperback. And speaking of covers, look, this is one area you just can't mess up. Your cover has one job, and one job only, to instantly tell a potential reader what kind of book this is. There's this famous story about author H.M. Ward. Her romance novel Scandalous sold next to nothing for months. She changed the cover to look more like other books in her genre, and boom, it shot right onto the New York Times bestseller list. That's how powerful the right cover is. Okay, your book is ready to go. Now let's talk about the fun stuff, getting paid and getting noticed. This is the part where you stop thinking just like an author and start thinking like an entrepreneur. Now this is the number that gets everyone excited, the 70% royalty option. It's the big draw for KDP. To get this rate, you just have to price your ebook somewhere between $2.99 and $9.99. Compared to the other option, which is just 35%, this seems like a total no-brainer, right? Well, there is a catch. And it's a big one that trips up almost every single new author. It's called a delivery fee. So here's how it works. When you pick that sweet 70% royalty, Amazon charges you 15 cents for every megabyte of your ebook's file size. And that fee comes directly out of your cut. So let's do the math. If you price your book at 99 cents, you automatically get the 35% royalty, so you earn about 35 cents per sale. But if you price that same book at $2.99 to get the 70% royalty, even after a small delivery fee, you're going to make around $2. That's nearly 6 times more money for every single sale. Trust me, pricing super low is almost never the right move. Now, to get more eyes on your book, you can enroll it in something called KDP Select.
Think of it like a deal with Amazon. You agree to sell your ebook exclusively through them for 90 days, and in return, they put your book into Kindle Unlimited, where you get paid based on how many pages people read. You also get access to some really cool promotional tools, like making your book free for a few days to drum up buzz. It's a trade-off, really. You give up sales on other platforms for better visibility on Amazon.
We've gone through the how-tos. Now let's talk about the what not to do's. Because honestly, knowing the common traps is just as important as knowing the right steps. You can make a lot of little technical mistakes, bad formatting or a cover that's just off. But what's the single biggest mistake? The one that isn't technical at all, that absolutely sinks thousands of books. It's this right here, the publish and pray mentality. It's the belief that if you just write a good book, readers will magically show up. I hate to break it to you, but they won't. Amazon's algorithm is designed to promote books that are already selling, which means you have to be your own biggest cheerleader from day one. So the fix is to start treating this like a business. First, always check your cover design as a tiny thumbnail. That's how most people will see it first. Second, use all 7 of your keyword slots and fill them with specific phrases, we call them long-tail keywords, that people are actually typing into the search bar. Third, write an amazing book description that hooks the reader in the first couple of sentences. And finally, use the free A+ content feature. It lets you add cool graphics and text to your book's page, and Amazon's own data shows it can boost sales by over 5%. It's basically free advertising space. And that leads us to our last and maybe most important section. What does success actually look like for a self-published author? Because it's probably not what you're picturing. Look, success in this game is almost never about one single massive breakout hit. It's about building a back catalog of books. The data could not be clearer. Authors who make about $100 a month have, on average, 9 books for sale. The ones making a serious life-changing income, they average over 60 books. Every book you publish is another door for readers to find you. And the other half of that success puzzle is this. Your single most valuable asset is not your Twitter followers or your TikTok views. It's your email list. Study after study shows it's the #1 thing correlated with income. Low-earning authors might have a few hundred subscribers. High-earning authors have thousands. It's your direct line to your most passionate fans. So it's all about setting realistic expectations. This is not a get-rich-quick plan. It can easily take a year, maybe more, just to find your first core group of readers. Getting to consistent sales often takes a few years and several books. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's all about sticking with. At the end of the day, the authors who really make it are the ones who understand that their first book isn't the finish line, it's the starting block. It's about writing that book and then immediately thinking about the next one and the one after that, learning and getting better each time. So the question isn't just, can you publish a book? It's, are you ready to build a career? The tools are free, the doors are open. Are you ready to start building?